computer. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the 88th episode of Concerned Dads Podcast. I'm your host, Katie M. Kane. Our guest tonight, ladies and gentlemen, she is an R&B singer from Portland, Oregon. I have her on one of my songs from the Incendiary album. I just caught to rock with her this weekend on something that's coming out next year. She is a dope singer, super cool person. My friend, Brandy Lea, ladies and gentlemen, Brandy Lea.
Hi. Thank you for having me. I've never done a podcast before, and I'm excited. This is my first one.
Dope. Yeah. Yeah. Cool, man. Thanks for coming on. Yeah. So I got to record with you this weekend for an hour and I was super happy. I haven't seen you in a really long time. So it was cool to link up and talk about things, man.
Yeah, I get caught up.
Yeah. So I'm trying to look up my sample questions here. Where's all the Google apps? There we go. Drive. Okay. Dang it. Do it. Search in Drive. Brandy Lea. Sample questions. There we go. I just had to search it. Okay. So I just I didn't want to hit you with any crazy surprise questions or anything. So this is what I typed up. You know what I mean? We can go in order. We can skip around, you know what I mean? If there's something you don't want to talk about, that's cool. But and if there's something you want to talk about more, that's cool too. So when did you first decide that you wanted to sing or be a singer?
You know, I had to think about that, and it went back to elementary school, honestly. But back then, you had to choose if you were going to be in band or choir. It was one or the other.
Oh, man.
Yeah. And so I chose band at the time, which you don't even get to choose what instrument you get. And I wanted to be a drummer, and I got stuck with the flute. So I don't know how that was supposed to go.
I feel like that happens to all the girls. I feel like, clarinet or flute or alto sax, you know what I mean? Like, no hate on any males who are playing those instruments, but
right. Yeah. But it totally put me in a box, like right out the gate. So then by middle school, I really was loving music, but then at that point I was too nervous to do anything about it. Nobody had heard me sing, not even my own mother.
Dang.
I wouldn't sing in front of her. I was a closet singer. And then finally in high school, I guess I just finally got sick of being quiet and auditioned for choir, and everything else just took off from there. And before I knew it, my friends were encouraging me and my mom and everybody. So I really always wanted to do it.
Yeah, man, that's cool. And which school did you go to? Like, did you guys do any competitions and stuff as a choir or anything like that?
So I went to Wilson High School in Southwest Portland, even though I'm from Northeast, but I was lucky enough that my mom was able to send me across town just to get a better education. So I was in the like select ensemble that you have to audition for. And I feel like we probably did do competitions, but I'm not gonna lie, high school is kind of a blur to me. Not because I was out there like that, but just in general, it feels like a million years ago.
Yeah.
But so I was doing that in musicals at school and stuff, and talent shows and whatnot.
Okay, cool. So can you talk a little bit more about like your upbringing? Like, you're from Portland, right? Like, you're born and raised and like.
No, so I was born in Washington. My mom was in the Army.
Oh, really? So you're a military kid too? I didn't know that. That's cool.
Yeah. So born in Bremerton, actually. So was there until I was like, I want to say 6. And then my mom fell on hard times as a single parent. And so she sent me to live with my grandma in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, which is where all my family is from on my mother's side.
Dope. That's where Wiz Khalifa is from, man.
Yep. So I always like rep him as much as I can.
Yeah, he's dope. He's reps the
Yeah,
cannabis culture really well too, man. I've been a fan
true.
of that guy
Very
for a
true.
while, man. Yeah.
Yeah. So I lived in Pittsburgh for 3 years, I want to say. And then my mom was stationed in Portland and she got all established and everything. And she didn't want me to come home until she had a home to bring me to.
Yeah.
So then I came here in, what was it, fourth grade. And since then I've been Northeast Portland,
Dope.
still live in Northeast. I don't plan on relocating
Dope.
unless a crazy opportunity were to arise. But yeah, that's where I've
Tight.
been.
Yeah, man, that's cool. Cause man, I met you through Jackson, man. I'm gonna ask that question later though. So
Okay.
talk about that now. But it was cool, man, because I was in Portland and I didn't really know too many people, so he was a big help with that.
Mhm.
So my next cookie cutter question, Brandy, is who were some of your early musical influences?
Well,
Like
that's
when you were
easy.
young.
Hands down, Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson,
Dope.
like the staples, right?
Yeah.
Whitney Houston is
Yeah.
who I would have on repeat. Mariah Carey, just all the classics. You
No
know, I
doubt.
wasn't, and even as I got a little bit older, like fifth grade, and so I still was listening to Michael Jackson, Janet Jackson, Whitney Houston, Shaka Khan, Earth, Wind, and Fire, like
Yeah.
that's my vibe. And I of course went into the mainstream stuff and latched on to Beyonce and whatnot, but never related
Yeah.
to that life. But
Yeah, it
yeah.
seems rather commercial and shallow as of late
Mhm, mhm.
and less emotional, I guess, you know.
Yeah, yes, authentic. And so I kind
Yeah.
of lost interest, to be quite honest. Still respect her immensely, but just not where I see myself like going.
Yeah,
So
that's dope. Uh, um, that's dope because that was my next question too. Is what about currently? Like, do you have any current musical influences? Is it there
I,
any new guys or new ladies that you think are dope? Like,
yeah, there's a lot. And I quarantine has actually done something good for me where I've been researching a lot more musicians and people that are on the come up, like Kiana Lede, Ari Lennox. Um, I love Kaylani. I know she's pretty big anyway, but she
yeah,
still isn't like mainstream yet, which is crazy to me.
yeah. I think she opened up for Amine when I went to that Amine show. I think she was on the
Oh,
same
really?
ticket. Yeah, and
That's
I
crazy. She's
I
been around
just
longer.
yeah, but I think he was that Caroline single was just super hot, and he was headlining the show, and I
Hmm.
think they wanted, you know, someone who's as big or bigger to be on the ticket too. And
Yeah.
I only caught like one song at the end of her thing because we got there kind of late, so I
Oh,
was just like,
really?
ah man, I wanted to
Oh,
see
you're
her
missing
set, man.
out.
Yeah,
Yeah. I'm loving just R&B chicks. Then
yeah,
ones that aren't scared to speak their mind and don't mind, being a little vulgar and talking about their sexuality and stuff. It's very empowering women. Ain't
yeah,
scared. Not that I don't cuss. It's just it sounds silly coming out of my mouth using cuss words, but I
yeah,
respect the females that are out there just singing and talking about real life.
yeah.
So those who I'm leaning towards. The only mainstream person that I really dig right now is Doja Cat.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I see girls posting that sometimes, you know what I mean? And then it came on like YouTube or Spotify fed it to me one time and I was like,
Mhm.
"Who is this?" And I hearted it, you know what I mean? I was like, "Listen to this again, you know, feed it to me again sometime, you know."
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
she's so talented and versatile. Like she's definitely was like a theater kid, like nerd, and you can
Yeah.
tell. And she adapts her music to so many different styles. She'll take one song, and I'm sure many people have seen it now. Like she's been performing all these different award shows, and every time she performs the same song in a different style, whether it's like jazz or like what else does she do? She did like a rock version, like a metal version
Tight, man.
of
I'm
one
gonna
of
have
the
to
songs.
check
I
that
think
shit out, man.
you got to check that one out. That one was
Yeah.
trippy, but it was good. and she writes all her own music. I always respect somebody who writes all their own music.
Yeah, man. It seemed like she was pretty visual too on the YouTube video that I saw too. Like she's, you know, with costume, makeup, and all that shit too,
Yeah.
which is dope. You know, because
Yeah. Yeah.
usually people would just hand that off to someone else, but she's
Mm-hmm.
probably doing a lot of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She does her own makeup and hair and stuff.
Yeah.
What do you think of Billie Eilish?
Man, that song like the one that they play on the radio. I was
Bad
like,
Guy?
yeah, I was like, who is this? You know, and I thought it was cool, but I didn't get too deep into it other than what I heard on the radio. You know,
She's dope.
she's dope.
I
I'll check
actually,
her out.
you should.
Co-signed by
I
Brandy. I'll
actually
check her
went
out.
to her concert. Mind you, I was probably the oldest person there. Me and Sam,
It
my
is.
friend.
Oh yeah, I like it. Shout out to Sam. She's a cool chick,
Yeah,
man.
yeah. So
Yeah.
watch this. Me and her went. We were probably, other than people chaperoning, we were probably the oldest people there.
That's
I loved
okay.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that girl's talented and like way before her time. Way
Yeah.
before. So
Yeah, man. And she's like different, you know what I mean?
not
And
cookie cutter.
yeah, dude,
Mhm.
and winning, you know what I mean?
Yep.
And being heard and being seen. So it's cool, man. Like I try to that's my complaint about new rappers nowadays. I'm on my rock and roll shit anyway, but I still
Uh,
rock with the rap homies and do verses and stuff, but it's like all the new popular rap, everybody sounds like everyone else, you
I
know?
know, and I
And
don't
it's
know what they're saying half the time.
yeah,
I really don't.
it's like uniqueness isn't as valued as much anymore, I guess, you know?
Yeah,
It's like
it doesn't feel like it's about the music. It feels like about the paycheck. Like I can
yeah,
feel it in the music.
it's meant to sell something instead of appeal to your emotion, you know what I mean?
Mhm,
Which is
mhm.
cool. I can't knock the hustle, but it's like, fuck, dude. I don't music isn't commercials to me, you know what I mean? Like
Uh,
I wanna feel the way, you know? So
yep.
yeah. Um yeah, good answer. Okay. So my next question, moving down the line. Um I heard you were in a group, an R&B
Yeah.
group with a couple other ladies from Portland that was managed by Ilaj from the group Ilaj and Mikey Vegas.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, oh,
Can you
that's a
talk?
long,
Yeah, man. Can you
yeah,
talk about
long
that story
story.
a little bit? Because man, I
Yeah.
just to give some people some context, like I for like 10 years I was traveling to Portland to record my music, and then I started rocking with these guys, Coast to Coast mixtapes and High Rollers Records, and they had Elijah and Mikey Vegas were like their premier artists. They put out an album called Fly Rock, and it did really well. Everybody loved it, and then they got the unsigned hype column in the Source magazine like that summer of like '07, '08, and that was huge, dude. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? Because it was just
Mm-hmm.
like it was like more than 500 words, and it's from Portland, and
Right.
it's like I know
Yeah.
those guys,
Like
and
we're
then
on the map.
yeah,
Yeah.
dude, and then I
Yeah.
got a feature from those guys, and it would just I was just feeling it, you know what I mean? And then Fats at one of the studio sessions, he told me, he's like, "Oh man, Illa has a R&B group too." And I'm like, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, it's like Total. It's like 3 girls, man. He's doing his puffy shit." I'm like, "What?" I'm like, "I want to hear that shit, bro." Cause
Yeah.
I always thought he was a pretty talented writer also, you
He
know?
is.
Like not just bars, but like melodies and
Oh
song
yeah.
and
Just engineering.
being different too, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And trying to be different
Mm-hmm.
and still sounding cool as shit, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Smooth.
Yeah, yeah. So, but
Yeah.
my bad. I don't want to take over on the story, but can
No,
you
no,
tell me about that situation and how it came
no, no.
about, man? Because I still haven't heard any of that music, but I'm just like, man,
Whew, tell me about it.
I wanted to ask
So
about it.
yeah. So
Yeah.
yes, smooth transition because 2007 and 2008 is when I linked up with them. So right at the hype of Illa's, I guess career because I don't, yeah.
Yeah, I think
Um,
he changed names now. He goes by SOXO Supreme or something like that. I don't.
Something. I
Yeah.
honestly, I don't
Just
really
when
know
I
much
see him,
about him.
I'm like, oh, that's Illa. But
Right.
I think his artist name is different now. I need to
I think so too.
research that. Yeah. My bad.
Yeah.
Sorry for interrupting.
No, you're good.
Yeah.
So I don't even know how I honestly think it might have been something as corny as like a Craigslist ad type of thing.
Really? That's bad.
Yeah,
I got the girl in my last video in Phoenix. That's how I got her. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
It was before Craigslist was super, super sketch.
Mm-hmm.
But I already knew one of the girls because we were trying to make something happen with this other producer in Atlanta that ended up being a whole type of scam.
Uh-huh.
And so that didn't work out. But she had heard that, oh, I know this homeboy who's getting a group together. Like we should all get together and do this. Da, da, da. So I meet all these girls. There was 5 of us originally, and we meet at one of the hotels in Portland. And it was like, okay, this is the group. I don't know what we're called. Like, what's your name? Like, who are
Yeah.
you? And this is before we even presented anything to Illa.
Mm-hmm.
It was just us girls meeting and didn't know anybody's voices or anything like that. So that was kind of crazy. We just kind of went around and talked about ideas and whatnot. And before we even, I think we all met with Illa one time. But very quickly, to make a long story short,
Yeah.
very quickly, girls started falling off. Not being, yeah, and as all girl groups seem to do.
Dude, well, the female singers too, dude. It's hard to schedule a session and have them hit that window and do work. You know what I mean? So
No,
special thanks and props to you, girl, for you know what I mean, for being professional and some
I
knowledgeable.
try.
You know, so
Yeah,
that
that's the
means a
hardest
lot.
part. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so yeah, right out the gate, girls weren't committing, and I don't know what they were doing or whatever. All nice girls, like don't get me wrong, all talented young women.
Yeah.
But before I knew it, it was down to 3 of us. Our name changed so many times I can't tell you. But we'd always go in to record sessions with High Rollers Records
Yeah.
after hours. So then we didn't have to worry about interruptions or,
Yeah.
like it being a crap ton of money to do anything.
Yeah.
But we would go to a recording studio, and I'm talking about we'd be there from like 11 p.m. to like 3 in the morning
And
type deal.
that was the one on 122nd, right? At Fat's
Yeah,
crib? Yeah. Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
yeah.
I like that setting too, man. It seemed really
I did
cool.
too.
Yeah, with the
Yeah.
couches and like they had
Hmm.
big monitors, you know what I mean? I'm like,
Yeah. It made me feel really special. Like, wow, I'm really doing this. Like, this is
yeah.
crazy. In my little 18-year-old mind, I was like, oh my gosh, like, how am I going to handle being famous? Like,
Yeah.
I
No
just thought,
doubt.
because Illa did do a really good job at making us feel like, no, you guys, like, we're about to do big things. We even had contracts. We had, you know, we were on like workout plans and
Hell yeah, dude.
yeah, like writing our music. We had choreography.
That's
We were linked
that's
up with,
dope.
yeah, linked up with Gina Grant. I don't know if you know who she is, Brian Grant's ex-wife.
Oh,
Uh,
the basketball player?
yeah, because
Oh, really?
she's one of the co-creators of Zumba.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, so we were linked up with her and I was trying to learn how to dance, which I'm not a dancer.
I'm not
Uh,
either. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
the other
Wow,
girls
man.
were. The
Oh,
other
okay.
2 girls,
Yeah.
yeah, they were getting down. I'm over there looking silly, but I tried. Um, but yeah, we ended up making like 3 songs, like really like put together songs, but never released anything. It was really weird. I'm not gonna lie, I kind of felt like we kind of got ghosted a little bit.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You got 3 songs and then you just focused on other stuff or something?
He just started focusing on his music and
Ah,
whatever else he had going on. And so we would just hear from him less and less and less, to the point where at this point, he had kicked out one of the girls, and
ah,
then it was just 2 of us left. And so we tried to take things into our own hands. Like, man, we did all this work on this music. It is
yeah.
ours.
Yeah.
and he was fine with that. He's like, yeah, it is your music. Like, take it, do what you want to do with it. I just don't have time anymore. And so we tried to make something work. By this point, how many years in were we? I don't think I still wasn't 21. I want to say we messed around for a good year and a half, 2 years.
Damn, really? Damn, man. God,
I
it sucks,
know.
dude. It sucks to be hype and put all that effort into, and then it's like, dude, if you guys still have those songs, I feel like you could still put them out as singles. You know what I mean? Come up with
No.
a name and just if only one of the girls is on it, then that's an easier conversation. But if two of them are on the songs, then I think they would both be down just to. It's like, nah, it's some art that we created, man. Even if it was a while back, I bet those songs are dope, man. You know?
Yeah, they really are. It's funny you say that because during quarantine, once again, one of the girls reached out and was like, "Hey, ladies, when this is all said and done, we should link up and figure out how we can sell this music." So that
Yeah,
is the game plan because we all did work really hard and sacrificed a lot.
yeah.
Um,
And
so
I'm hoping I can get each of those other two girls on the show in the future to talk about their separate careers too, and then also ask this same question to them. You know what I mean?
oh yeah,
Because
I
they're all
know at least
doing
one of
they're
them would love it.
yeah, man, and they're both talented ladies too. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Yeah,
yep, very talented, and one gal has her own like makeup line, and the other gal has her own music projects and stuff. So they're still out here getting it.
yeah, man, yeah. Um, yeah, dude. So, what did like yeah, I man, if you need any help with that, like anything I know a couple guys who can mix if you got the stems or whatever, but if they're like finished, like, dude, put them out. Just you could
Yeah,
get
they're not completely mastered. They're
okay.
like almost there.
Yeah.
Two of them are. So that's what's frustrating. So yeah, if you could help me wrap it up.
Yeah. I'll call a couple guys, you know what I mean, and see what you got.
Okay.
Yeah, I talked to Tyrant last night too, and he's like, yeah, I'm down. He's like, there's no place to record in Portland yet, though, dude. So I was like, all right, well, I'm gonna head back out there in a month. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, link up again, record some of your stuff.
Yes, I'm so excited. You have no
Yeah.
idea.
Yeah, but those songs, man, don't give up on those, man, because I want to hear them. You know what I mean? I'll pay $1 for each of those. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? I'm sure I'm not
yeah,
the only person who would do the same, you know?
yeah. They're pretty catchy. It's a nice walk down memory lane too. We do sound like babies, but we were babies. It was so
Yeah,
long ago.
no
But
doubt.
it was an interesting experience. I will say I wouldn't trade it for anything. Like I'm glad I did it, even
Yeah,
though
dude.
even though we didn't produce any actual music, we produced a lot of just it's cliche to say, but memories, and I learned a lot.
No doubt. It is, man. Like
So,
that's what life is about. You know what I
mm-hmm.
mean? Those are the stories you can tell. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I met cool people along the way, talented people too.
Yeah.
From our makeup artists to you know.
I remember talking to you about that Mike Lloyd guy too, man. He was pretty dope. The singer guy. His name was Mike Lloyd. And then when I was talking to you about him, you said that he just gave up on the music and decided to try and go for his job or start hustling or you
Yeah,
know.
I haven't heard that name in so long.
Yeah, he was dope too.
You have such a good memory. Like,
Y-
what the heck?
Well, man, because these I was so hype at that time too, because I had like a one album deal with High Rollers. So I was like,
Yeah.
nah, these dudes are about to blow, and I can at least fucking slide in the back door and get a couple looks with this single. You know what I mean? So
Uh-huh.
it just things change and go a different direction. I'm not mad either, but I am glad that I did all those things and
Right.
met all of those talented people too, man. Because some of us are still doing work. You know what I mean? And
Mm-hmm.
so it's cool to link back up and get it cracking. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's so
Um,
true.
it is because I just love creating, man.
Me too.
And it just art or anything like music, film. I like this podcast shit a lot.
Yes.
I'm
I
just
love podcasts.
yeah, man. I'm just into it. You know what I mean? So it makes me happy. So I'm gonna keep on doing it. You know?
Right? Yeah, like I
Yeah.
said on Saturday, I was like, it's therapeutic. It just
Yes.
really is.
Yeah,
So
man.
it's long overdue that I'm getting back into it.
Yes, girl. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, so that brings me to my next question down the line. You did a song with Katie Kane. Can you talk about that experience a little bit? Like how did it happen from your point of view? You know what I mean?
Yeah. So we have a great mutual friend, Jackson, who I don't know how we even started talking about it. He knew I sang and, wanted to keep going about it. And I think you were just looking for some vocal help
Yeah, I
and
was.
yeah, and whatnot. And I will say, working with you, and I'm not just saying this because I'm on your podcast, but one of the top experiences I've had musically,
Dope.
like most professional, but also super chill and laid back. Felt like I can, you know, tell you what I need to say and,
Yeah.
relax at the same time. And yeah, so we linked up. I can't remember, did we do the voice lessons first?
No,
Or
that was after because
that was that?
yeah, the album that I have you on, I didn't fully go rock and roll yet.
That's
You know what
right.
I mean? It was still a lot of
Yeah.
experimentation a little bit. And then
Yeah.
the next one, I had a couple of songs that I was like, I want to sing these different, you know what I mean? So
Uh-huh.
I would just like, man, I would practice on my own, but I'm just like, man, Brandy could actually sing, you know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure she did. And you did. You told me earlier you took choir. I'm like, I'm pretty sure she took choir. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So
Choir and private lessons in high school myself.
yeah.
That's where I got a lot of the exercises and stuff that I showed you. But yeah, so we did that song together and we busted that out in just a couple hours.
Yeah, at RPMs. Shout out to
And,
DJ RPM. Yeah.
yes. So he's super knowledgeable and easygoing and I don't know, it's
Yeah.
experience. And then we decided to stay in touch.
Yeah, man. And RPM also, I gotta say this about him. He's also a band nerd, you know what I mean? And so he's
Mhm.
classically trained as a musician. And so
You can tell.
yeah, when I would have anybody who's a vocalist, I would try to bring them to his house to record because I am not the best coach. I can't, he
Right.
can play the melody on the keyboard and be like, no, it's got to be this note. It's B flat. You're
Uh-huh.
doing B. You know what I mean? It's got to be B flat. And I'm just like, whoa.
Yeah, he helped me so much with the like harmonies and trying to ad lib and whatnot because I, of course, was nervous too. It'd been a while, and yeah, he helped a
Yeah,
lot.
yeah, yeah, man. He's a talented producer.
Yeah,
Um,
and then we did that performance together.
yeah, that was one of SP's artist showcases. I met a bunch of other Portland artists through that thing too, man, and that was super dope. I think do we
Yeah.
have the band at that one too? Was my band set up or was it just playing a CD?
No, it was just me and you.
Okay,
It was just
cool.
me and you, which I was super nervous because it was just me and you. And
Yeah,
you're like, okay, come up here for your one song, and that was a new experience for me too.
dope. Yeah,
I had never done anything like that, and it was a totally different crowd than at that point. I'd only been singing in front of like school crowds because I
yeah,
hadn't even went into my band yet. So that
yeah.
was that was or had I been in the band, I don't think I had performed much with them yet if I did.
Word.
But yeah, again, my BFF Sam was there supporting me.
Yeah, she's cool
She's a
peeps, man. I remember meeting her too. She was super nice, man.
Yeah, and so you brought me on there, which was an awesome opportunity too. So,
Yeah, and then that was somewhere on Hawthorne, right? I went with like
uh-huh.
the theater that turned into an arcade. It's like Quarter World now, but it was something
Oh,
else
is
back
it?
then. I think that's where it was at.
Okay, that's why because every time I drive that way, I look for.
Yeah, it's
That that
Quarter
makes
World
sense.
now. Yeah.
That makes sense. Yeah, and it was the super like hit part of town. Like,
Yeah. Man, that was a good time, man. Shout out to
yeah,
SP too. Shout out to SP for throwing those showcases, man.
yeah, that was cool.
And
So,
and then also I gotta tell everybody that after that, like when I was trying to go rock and roll, I did need help. And I did call Brandy Lea. And I was working for my guy Sweeney from the Casher Company. Shout out to Sweeney. And his office was way out there on the west side, like 188th and TV Highway.
uh-huh.
It was deep, man.
Yes, it
Aloha,
was.
not even Beaverton. It was Aloha address.
We
You know what I
were
mean?
out there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Brandy showed up for an hour, you know what I mean? And I played her what I was trying to record, and then I played her who I was trying to sound like. And funny story, I played her some Tool, some Maynard James Keenan, and like in the first 10 seconds, she just looked at me and she was like, "You can't do this." And I was like, "Oh man, like what do you mean?" She goes, those are half step harmonies, and he's doing like 5 of them at the same time. She's like, "That would be fucking seriously hard for me to do." And so I know that this is, she goes, "You need to set a more realistic goal." And I think I played you some Godsmack or something and some Volbeat, and you're like, "Yeah, see, you could do
And we
this."
got you right.
Yeah,
Yeah, we got
and I
you
was
right.
like, "Okay, cool, thanks, man."
And I don't remember like saying that, but I'm glad that you took it in stride and it was
Yeah, dude, honesty is the best policy. I don't care what anybody says.
yeah,
It's
I
like, dude,
agree. I agree.
yeah, tell people the truth because they might spend too much time doing something that, you know,
Yeah,
wasting
I was
time.
not gonna have you out there embarrassing yourself. No.
Thank
Mm.
you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
No doubt. That's
Mhm.
dope. So I got another question um about the blues band. Can you talk about that experience? I don't even know if I wrote that in here. I don't think I did.
Mhm. I think you did
O-
somewhere in there.
Okay. Yeah, can you talk about that? Cuz that I was just like, "Damn, that's hella different from the stuff we worked on." You know what I mean? And
Right.
it's like, can you talk about that? Like, was that like a Craigslist ad too or something? Like,
No, it's actually my ex-boyfriend, his dad is, and it's more, it's blues, but it's like funk music too. But his dad is the bass player in several different funk bands.
okay.
And he wanted to start his own thing, and he was having a really hard time finding a singer. And when he found out that I sing, I think he just, I don't even know how he heard me sing. He must have overheard me just around his house singing or something,
Yeah.
and got really excited and was like, "You just start practicing with me a little bit, or hey, just come out here in the living room, let's jam a little bit." And so I kind of just got, I don't want to say tricked into it, but just kind of like slowly coaxed into it because he knew how shy I was. I am very, very shy.
Word.
Like, I have stage fright. Like, I'm not out here just jumping on the stage.
Yeah.
So
I get nervous too. I usually need a vodka drink or something. You know what I mean?
yeah, some liquid courage or something.
Yeah. You chill
Uh,
out, man.
yeah. So he started inviting me in, and then before I know it, the whole band was showing up for rehearsals, and I was in a blues funk band. And so
Dope.
um and I'm trying to remember, what was our name. Oh, Versatile.
Tight. With a Y?
I don't even remember how we spelled it. Probably.
Okay, cool.
Probably.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And so we did a couple gigs here and there, just like at local bars. um but they definitely were wanted to go more in the funk direction, but my voice, see the way my voice is set up,
Mhm.
it's not you know a powerhouse voice like Shaka Khan and stuff, and they wanted me to sing stuff like that. So
Mhm.
I'd have to reel it in sometimes, like, can we try something a little more bluesy or R&B? And so we did some collaborating like that.
That's
um
cool.
yeah, it was all cover songs, never did any originals.
Okay.
um
What are some of the songs you guys sang?
oh gosh, we did Fleetwood Mac,
Which one?
Dreams.
Dreams? Ah, dude, oh
Uh-huh.
man, you should cover that and put that out as
Yeah,
you, yo, because
yeah,
that would be sick. I could
yeah.
picture it now, man.
Thank you. I might do
Yeah.
that actually. I
Well,
might
cause
do that.
that man, that dog face 420, you know, the dude who's drinking the cranberry juice, riding his longboard. You know about that dude?
Uh-uh.
He made just a TikTok video riding his longboard to work, you know what I mean? Drinking
Oh, yeah, 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 yeah.
and that Dream song,
Uh-huh.
dude, it's
Uh-huh.
popular as shit. Like just that one video going viral, like boosted their sales and their streams
That's
like
right.
immensely. And
Yeah,
so,
because then she got on there and made a TikTok
yeah, and
because of
so,
it.
yeah, dude. And so he's blowing up, dude. Like he's getting paid appearances all kinds of places, but
So
not to just ride the wave of that song, but I think that would be cool to it's like
yeah.
Dreams covered by Brandy Lea, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's one of my favorite songs to sing. It flows easily for me. So I was totally.
Yeah.
And then we did Lauren Hill. Like Killing Me Softly, I did.
Tight.
Um, what did we do? I'm trying to think some of the actual like funk songs that we did. Um, oh, what is their name? Oh, Isley Brothers. I know that's not funk, but we did some Isley Brothers.
Tight.
Uh, but yeah, they really were trying to get me on that Shaka Khan because they just were so sure that I had the range. And I had
Yeah.
the range, but I don't have the power behind it.
Yeah. I figured that out too, man. Like even 20 minutes of singing hard is fucking difficult, dude. Like
Mm-hmm.
you really do have to practice and get in shape. Just like
Yeah.
you know, you have to exercise those muscles
Mm-hmm.
to be working for that long. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Because yeah, if you're not singing it correctly, then you're hurting your voice, and that's no good.
Yeah, dude. Yeah. Like that's in my metal band now too. It's like they kind of want me to scream and yell a little bit, and I feel like I'm gonna have to really chill out on the smoking and just do edibles or something too, you know, because it's like fuck.
Yeah, you got to practice the proper breathing is everything.
Yes, yes, good advice, good advice. Yeah,
It's hard though. It's hard, especially for me. It's weird because if I start practice or start a session or whatever singing incorrectly, it's really hard for me to get into the groove and start singing correctly after that. Like I have
yeah,
to start that way. So like training yourself from the beginning is like super important, or you just tear your voice up.
yeah, no doubt. And dude, I've done that in studio. Like when I was in Phoenix, I would just like, okay. I was like,
Uh-oh.
okay. Oh, your camera cut out there. I can
There
still hear
we go.
you. Okay, yeah.
I'm back. Sorry.
Yeah, so my bro down there, Willie Animal, he's the engineer at the bakery recording studio. Shout out to Willie, shout out to the bakery. I he does records mad rappers, like all kinds. Like he makes a living off of his studio selling studio time by the hour. And I was just super impressed by that, but not very many rock and roll dudes. And so
Mhm.
that's all I was recording with him pretty much. And so I was like, look, dude, I'm gonna send you a couple songs beforehand and do your best to just coach me off of this. But it's like when I would show up, I'd be like, okay, dude, I feel like I got maybe 4 or 5 takes of screaming and shit, you know what I
No.
mean? So he got 4 or 5 chances to coach me one way or the other, you know what I mean? And he's just like, all right, you know what I mean? It's so
Yeah, I know how that goes though, because yeah, it'll still sound really good when you're singing wrong,
yeah,
but you can't do it for long.
hell no, and you don't want to perform that because if you want to perform it like it's like, nah, that's gonna fuck up the whole rest of the set. And if
Mhm.
I do it at the end, I'm gonna fuck up during that song because it's at
Mhm.
the end of the set. You know what I mean? So
Yep. It's so true.
yeah, no doubt. Yeah, excellent logistical conversations about vocals, man. For reals, I dig nerding out on shit like this.
Me too.
Yeah. So another question I have is, what do you have in the works lately as far as music? Like, I know you're getting back into it.
Yeah.
What do you like? What is it? Brandy Lea solo project, or you can do singles? Like, yeah.
Hmm. Yep, that's the goal. So my friend he's originally from Chicago. He lives in Florida now. Um, he is producing his own music and needed me on a hook because really what happened here at the beginning of the pandemic. So back in March or whatever. And that just prompted me to start writing my own music again.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was like, now I have the time, because I was preaching this to everybody too with this whole pandemic is, okay, don't think of all the things you can't do right now. Think of the things that you do have time to do now. Right.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
so
Yeah.
I needed to take my own advice, and I started writing again. And he wants to help me produce my own project. And so he's going to travel back and forth from Portland. It's Jay Starr, Justin Starr. He has Black Rose Entertainment is
Okay.
his
I'm
is
gonna
his
look him up. I'm gonna look him,
yeah.
and they got stuff out, right?
He has a little bit. He's hoping to get his album out, I think at the beginning of the year. I think he said he just needs like another month. And so I'll be on one of his songs, but yeah, he's going to help me out. And then, you know, I'm also in the place now where my child is getting a little bit older, and then my job is super flexible. So I'm like, this is the time. Like, it's
Yeah.
time for me to get back into it. So I do want to do it. I'm calling it just right now my passion project. And so I started reaching out to people like you, and
Yeah.
you were like crazy quick in responding. And
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this is meant to be. So then you had me hop on a song, and now here we are.
Yeah, hell yeah, because it is, man. Like there was a couple of girls I was trying to get to sing that chorus, and it just couldn't coordinate a date. Kept missing the date, missing the date. So when you hit me, I was like, yeah, I got. Man, I'll
Yeah.
send you something right now. You know what I mean?
It was literally like the turnaround was so fast. Like, I thought we'd be working together in like a month or two. You're like, no, what about next weekend?
Yeah, because
Let's
man,
go.
my son's mom called me and was just like, hey, I was like, man, and as I was like, can we come out there on Friday? She was like, yeah. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go to Portland on Saturday. I was like, man, Brandy, do you have an hour? Can you know?
Uh-huh.
Like, yeah, all right, man. That's when I got home. That's what I posted. I was like, three birds, one stone, man. It's like
Three birds,
yeah,
yes.
I got to see both my babies and record with Brandy all in the same weekend. So it
Yeah.
was cool, man.
Divine timing, I tell you.
Yeah, yeah, man. Shout out to the universe, you
Yeah.
know, like
So
for
I'm,
real.
I'm feeling just super inspired, and I'm not in a rush to do things, but
Hmm.
at the same time, I don't want to procrastinate anymore.
Exactly. Same. I try to actively do something each day that's either podcast, music, or film related. And that could be
Yeah.
just calling someone because I have to get a little bit of consulting from some guys from my res for the film I'm working on. And those guys
Mhm.
all have families and their own, it's
Right.
tough to coordinate with them too. But I keep trying because I have to,
Hmm.
do something each day. So uh,
Yep.
yeah, man. Good inspiring shit too, man. Like I can't wait to hear some of those songs. And
Awesome.
I'll do my best to get some beats together too and send them your way and see what you
That's
think.
what I was gonna remind you. Yeah, hit me with
Yeah.
those beats as soon as
Yeah.
possible. Oh, I just made my chair. Woo!
Okay. Okay. So my next cookie cutter question. I asked this to everybody in the show.
Mhm.
I try to wait till like the last 15 minutes or so, or 15 minutes or so. And it's two-sided question. The first
Okay.
side is, what do you feel has been your best move on the path to where you are right now?
Mm, my best move.
And maybe it's a behavior or you know what I mean? Or
Yeah, I think just continuing to come back to the game.
yeah,
Yes, like not completely ever throwing it out, like, or setting unrealistic expectations for myself. That's probably the best one.
word. No
That's
doubt.
because, when you tell somebody that you're a singer, they're like, oh, so you're trying to be famous?
No.
Well, no, I like to sing. Now, if that were to come along with it, that's cool, I guess. But I do it because I like it and I want to perform and stuff. And and if people enjoy it, awesome. But I'm not out here chasing the money, and I ain't out here
Nah.
chasing the fame. I'm out here just chasing creativity.
Yeah, same, man. I feel like that's just a more it's not a more real it is a more realistic goal, but it's just better for my soul and my being
Right.
to not
Mm-hmm.
have that as the, you know what I mean? Cuz
As the motivator. Like, that's just not how I work. That's not how my brain works.
no
So
doubt. Same, Brandy, same, man.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the other side of that question is, what do you feel has been your biggest mistake on the path to where you are right now?
I would say taking such a long break. Like, if I
Okay.
could have condensed my break, like, because I did find myself starting to procrastinate and make excuses. Um, so I wish I wouldn't have done that so much. But at the same time, everything happens for a reason. And, I needed time to settle in being a mother and a wife and everything and getting career situated and stuff. But I think, yeah, the main thing is, I think getting situated in my career, um, it would have been helpful to still have music as my outlet,
Yeah,
just for my own mental health,
no doubt, dude.
So
Yeah.
looking back now, I'm like, oh, if I would have just kept maybe even just once a month making sure that I was doing music.
Yeah. That's making the time. That's
Yeah.
sometimes old homies will hit me up too, music homies, and man, we should do something. I'm like, dude, I will show up. Let's just
Hmm.
schedule the time and let's show up and do the work. It's like even if
Yeah.
we just sit there and write and don't record, that's fine. But we gotta do that to make the progress, man. You know?
Right. And just do
Yeah,
something. And I'm glad I never burned any bridges with people, which is like advice for anybody out there. Don't burn your bridges, especially in this industry. There's not very many of us out here in the Northwest.
I agree. I've done it a couple of times. You know what I mean? And
Mhm.
sometimes it was justified and I felt good about it, but a few times it's like, man, I shouldn't have done that. You know what I mean? I
Mhm.
wish I could still call that guy and ask for help or ask for advice. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because
Yeah, you never know.
that goes a long ways too, man. Just if you have a friend in your circle who's done what you're doing right now before, and you can call him and ask him, you know, when you get stuck, it's
Mhm.
like, fuck, dude, that's so much help, man.
Yeah.
Like when you and I were recording, I didn't know how to copy the effects from the track before, and Tyrant took my phone call and he's like, dude, man, click on
Yep.
this, copy, and then click on it again and paste the settings. I'm like, ah,
Yeah, it's priceless. Because imagine if you wouldn't have answered or you didn't have anybody like that, we'd probably have to sit there and Google and YouTube stuff, and
yeah,
that can take so much time. But if you have good, knowledgeable folks in your circle, keep them around. Not saying
yeah,
you're using them,
nah.
but like
Dude,
just
nah.
don't burn bridges.
Yeah, don't. Good advice, man. Good advice. So my next cookie cutter question, what sort of ideas or concepts would you like to promote for the future?
I
And
thought this was an
yeah,
interesting.
yeah, and mine is, you know, I put it in there, but mine is I want everybody to be able to grow their own cannabis when it's federally legal. You know, I don't want people to
Mhm.
to be dependent on going to the store. It's like, no, you can purchase seeds and grow your own at home of whatever kind you like. You know,
Yeah.
if companies get to do it, we should get to do it too. And in certain states, when it goes rec, like Washington, you have to go to the store. Rec law doesn't allow for you to grow your own. You have to get a medical marijuana card still. So
Right.
just not to take over on the question, but that's my
No,
answer for what
no,
that's the
that's
idea
good.
and concept I want to promote for the future. You know what I mean?
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that a lot. I think probably got a long way to go on that one. I
Yeah,
think.
but in Oregon you can have 4 plants if you're 21 and up, which I think is
Oh,
cool. And in Arizona too, it's 6 plants. So certain states did it right, but I want everyone, you know,
everyone,
everyone.
all the people.
Yeah, all the
Yeah,
people. Yeah.
yeah. That's nice. And mine's gonna be. This is interesting. I don't know much about cannabis,
Oh,
right?
yeah, all
With
good.
yeah, with working in law enforcement. um, what I do want to do on this end is bringing in like mindfulness and meditation and whatnot into our facilities
Okay.
and to the jails and whatnot. Before the pandemic hit, I was supposed to actually be teaching a meditation class to the inmates. Uh,
Okay.
yeah, and this was going to be something that we would hope would bring down tension within the jail, and compliance would be better. But for me, on a more social worker aspect and where my heart is just helping these folks who are in there and have so many thinking errors or don't have any coping skills that are positive.
Yeah.
This would plant the seed for them that meditation can be that coping skill that you've been lacking.
Yeah,
um,
man. And especially in that place because there isn't a lot of things available, but this is something
mhm.
that's free
Breathe.
that you can learn how to do on your own.
Hmm.
And dude, it is like just breathing, you know what I mean? Like that was
Yeah.
the main thing you told me on my vocal lesson is like, dude, you have to breathe
Yeah.
correctly and sing from your gut, not from your throat, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Life is all about breath. You can't
Yeah.
live without it. So why not use it, in all aspects of our life? And so I have the support of the captain
Hmm.
here where I work. And yeah, he was like, oh yeah, beginning of the year, like we're gonna start with just the female inmates just because
Yeah.
we'll
See
see
how it
it,
goes. Yeah,
yeah,
see
see
how it
how it
goes.
goes.
And
But I
safer for you too, probably. You
yes,
know what I mean?
yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And we were ready to roll it out and everything, but that's what I still want to focus on. And in my side business and my personal time, I'm a Reiki practitioner.
What?
And
Wait. What?
what?
Can you
You
keep?
didn't even know that.
Like,
You
can you
didn't even
talk
know
about it?
that.
What is that? Reiki? Well, tell me about it,
Yeah.
please.
So Reiki is energy work, using universal energy. And I was trained in it and certified. And so it really is about, how do I even explain it? I'm trying to think. Have you heard of it at all?
Well,
Reiki?
I it's Reiki.
Yes.
I've seen it online, but I didn't know it was pronounced that way. So when you said it, I was like, oh, that's probably
Oh
what
yeah.
she's talking about. So
Yeah. Reiki. So it's literally, you know, sit somebody down and it feels like a massage for your body without me even touching you. And I can pull out anything that is physical ailments, or we can focus on different mental things that are going on or things going on in your life. I'm able to kind of see, not kind of, but I can see aura colors.
dope. Man,
Yeah.
I'm digging all this shit. Keep going.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So
And so
I
is it through like a meditation type process, or do you smudge, or what is it?
yeah.
So if
So
are you gonna open like a parlor where it's like come and get your treatment, your like, and how do you say it? Is it your Reiki treatment or your Reiki session or
Reiki session, energy session, however you want to say it. But yeah, so before pandemic hit, I was having people come into my home, and I have a whole room dedicated to it. But yeah, before I start, I smudge the room. We call in, you know, certain energies, only energies of love and light. I don't work with anything that is menacing or of lower vibrations or anything. And we can even contact ancestors and loved ones that have passed on. And I just go through all your chakras
uh-huh.
and clear anything that needs to be cleared out, let you know what I see and feel and what's going on within your body, and pull some cards as well, oracle cards.
Dude, yeah.
Crystals. That's why I really appreciated those crystals when I saw those on Saturday. That was set up for our recording session.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just use all those tools around me and those from spirit. And yeah, I plan on, I have a few regular clients. And it's been really awesome. And I'm just going to continue delving in with that and
Dude, that
using
is sick, man. I didn't know you were into that type of stuff, Brandy Lea.
yeah.
Well,
And that's one of the things I kept closeted for a long time in my life too, which
ah,
now I'm unapologetically being me, which is one of my goals and probably will be a really big theme on my music project, is being unapologetically me. So yeah, everybody can know I see dead people. Okay.
yeah. I'm not clowning you one bit, Brandy Lea. I want to schedule a session, man. You know what I mean?
Yes, I would love
Yeah.
to. I would totally do that for you. Yeah, I have um, men and women clients. I've only done one. I only had one client that was like a teen, but mostly just adults. But I'm down to do whatever. I'll even do Reiki on a dog. I've done Reiki on a dog before.
That's cool, man. That's
Yeah,
hella cool. Well,
yeah. So I'm focusing on that.
that's dope. And it's I'm sure your job didn't hire you based off of that, you know what I mean? But I'm
No.
sure that your vibe is much appreciated in your
Mm.
work setting, not just coworkers, but the people that you work with, you know what I mean? And
Oh
for,
yeah,
you know what I mean? So dude, I just think that's probably making a huge difference, you know what I mean?
yeah.
And
Thank you.
yeah, and I feel like most times people in that system who are a part of that system, enforcing that system, don't really help a lot, you know?
Right.
And
Yeah.
it's just a paycheck and they're doing a job and they're kind of uncouth and unkind, you know what I mean? And I I know that you're not. And so I feel like that rubs off on other people too. And I hope that meditation shit goes good too, man.
Thank you. I think it will. I mean, uh, I'm definitely considered the woo woo witchy weirdo,
Yeah.
but in the best way
I'm
possible, because by
I'm
the
into
end of
that shit, man.
right, yeah, by the end
Yeah.
of the day, everybody's like, "Oh, Randy," like they appreciate the good vibes.
Yeah.
So yeah, and I think it will and has helped the people that are staying in our facility and give them a little bit of hope.
Yeah.
It's so dreary in there.
Hell yeah, man. It sucks being in there. You can't open the door and leave. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited about things. And I, with that being said, like incorporating my music into my Reiki sessions, I've been
Yeah.
encouraged to do too.
Hell
Like,
yeah.
yeah, so that's another thing I want to do is like start singing while I'm doing sessions and whatnot.
Dude,
Mhm.
that'd be sick, man.
Yeah.
Especially if you do it like do some shit in Latin or something, you know what I mean? It'd be like, oh
Oh gosh, now you're getting.
yeah.
I'm gonna have to learn some stuff.
Yeah, man, that'd be tight. You know what I mean? Be like, fuck yeah.
Yeah.
A seance, man.
Yeah. I love
Yeah.
all that stuff.
That's dope, man. Super cool. I gotta man, that leads I gotta get a session in sometime. But that leads me to my next question too, is like, do you have can you drop your social media, and do you have like a website or a IG for that business or anything? Like can
So I'm working on that. I'm actually going to be working on my website here. It's probably going to be called goldengoddess.com, but I don't have that yet. But
okay,
you can right now just find me on Instagram,
okay,
uh, Mrs. Brandy Renee. So it's MRS period BRANDYRENEE. And then if you want to hear any of my old music or like the song We Did and stuff, you can just look up Brandy Lea on YouTube. I have an old music video on there with E-Man.
dope. I'm gonna
Uh,
check that out, man.
yeah. Oh, you never seen that?
No, I don't know.
Oh, talk about a throwback to Baby Brand.
Okay.
Yeah. Look up E-Man and Brandy Lea,
I'm
and the
writing
song's
that
called
down.
Amazing. So that's the only like visual video I have. But if you add me on Instagram, there's uh me singing on there quite a bit, and really everything, all the social media stuff is going to be coming in
It's
the
called
next year.
it's called Amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. Cool. And
Yeah.
so IG is the main place to check it out, and then you'll post updates for your new music and your new business
Yep. I
website
totally
links.
will. I'm
Okay.
focused. So yeah, it's going to be growing. I'll always make announcements on there, and then start putting stuff in my bio, that'll link you.
Yeah. Yeah. Hell yeah. Man, dope. I'm excited to see all this stuff unfold too, man. It's gonna be awesome.
Thank you.
Yeah. Is there anything else that you want to talk about or mention before we wrap? That's about an hour right there. So
Yeah, we did. Wow, we've been talking a long
yeah, dude,
time.
it's been good too, man. Your answers are awesome, and all this cool shit at the end. I'm like, no way, what?
True. Yeah, we could talk about that stuff forever too. Yeah, when next time we link up, I can even do a little mini session. I don't care. But
Yeah,
yeah, I'm just looking forward to working with you again. I'm just so happy that we linked up again. Like you have no idea.
me too,
Uh,
girl. Me too.
yeah. So send me them beats, and I'm ready to work.
Okay, okay. Yeah, hell yeah. And then you gotta come back on the podcast when you get your the Reiki thing open and going. So promote
I'd
that
love
a little
to.
bit. Yeah, because
Thank you.
I feel like cannabis folks would really be into that also. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So yeah, thank you for taking the time today, man. During
of
your
course. Anytime.
because it means a lot to me. I'm excited to be working with you again too. And man, this episode's gonna be dope. I'm gonna send it to a few folks, man. Be like, yo, remember this girl? Like, man, check out the interview.
Oh yay! I'm so
Yeah,
excited.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, hit me up anytime, any opportunities,
Okay,
um, no matter what it is. So
okay. I'm gonna get an email together this evening and send you some production.
okay.
Okay. All right. And
Cool.
yeah. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to do my outro dance. This was the 88th episode of Concerned Dabs podcast. I was your host, Katie M. Kane. My guest tonight, Miss Brandy Renee Lea. You can catch her on Incendiary by Katie Kane. You can also see her in the video by E-Man titled Amazing. Follow her online on IG. It's mrs.brandyre N or Renee. And man, I can't wait to see the Reiki thing, man. I want to see what's up with that. Like, so
It'll be
follow her if you're into that stuff, ladies and gentlemen.
please.
Yeah, I also got to give a shout out to my guys in production, Mitchell Wilson and Jesse Curry. This has been a Main Node and Joseph Street Enterprise production.